Hi, this is Eva for Midnight Mandela. Welcome, everybody. Yes, I'm totally confused today. I'm sorry. That isn't even my normal opening spiel. Welcome to Once Upon a Timeline. That would be it. Yes. Okay. Start the new era of Cern off a little wacky, I guess. So there's been a lot of stuff. I wasn't even gonna look hard because I've still been extremely busy, and I'm like, I just need a couple. And like today, I had none this morning because I hadn't even looked at anything, and they just rained down from the sky. And I've been actually at the last minute here trying to sort out a new thing. So yeah, CERN. Okay, so CERN started back up on the 5th, which is yesterday, because today's technically the 6th, sort of. I mean, it's 10 minutes into the 7th. So yeah, I really didn't expect too much, but then I did kind of wonder if maybe because people are thinking about it, that would make it happen. So I don't know if it's CERN or the belief that it might happen. But I was busy because the 4th of July was the last day that I needed to be out of that location, my business location, into the new one. So everything had been going pretty good. I mean, I was really tired, but I was at the home stretch. I had one more load to take, which I had made a light day for myself by kind of pushing hard on other days. So I only had, I thought, a light day on the 4th. And I woke up and I just felt terrible. I mean, like my muscles just ached all over. I know it's not like the muscle strain type, because the muscle strain type is like one muscle hurts here and the muscles you've been overdoing it are hurting, like my calf muscles hurt, right? Okay, but it's not an overall weird diffuse pain, and that's what this was. And so I don't know. So I just pulled out all the stops. I'm like aspirin, DMSO, vitamins, whatever I could think of to kind of calm the muscles down, because I had to get that last load in, and I managed to get it calmed down by like the evening, and then I could do the last load. But I was pretty tired, and it dragged into the 5th, which was the official time that CERN opened. So I also had like my stomach was all messed up, and I had a headache. But the aspirin helps with the headache. I was able to pull it together and get stuff done. Barely. And then I get on Redcon, and all these people are like, yeah, headache, nausea, stomach. That's what, and then some people said electric feeling. I felt just more like, it was kind of like electric and kind of like, yeah, it was like my muscles were on fire or something. It wasn't like normal pain. It wasn't, I don't know, it was weird. So it's mostly settled down today, but my stomach's still a little weird. And then I'm like finding all these Mandelas today, so it was making me a little crazy. The other thing is, I got back late, and then because I'm at the new place trying to get shipping done, and then we made some steak, and I was just going to eat half a steak, and then I started eating. It was like the best steak I've ever tasted in 6 months. I don't know, my taste buds are on fire right now. So then I'm like, I'm eating the rest of it, and that's why I was late. So I'm sorry. I was actually sitting here eating steak, and I haven't even eaten my French fries yet. We made these ourselves, so I'm gonna be like moshing on them. So I apologize if I can get them in. I don't. Maybe I can't, because how can I talk with French fry in my mouth? I have one in my hand, and I don't know how to do it. Okay, so I show up today, and just like seconds ago, I was like, I'm just gonna see what's up on Reddit, and what do I find? Um, they've remember the Georgia Guidestones with the whole quite a bit of conspiracy theory. First of all, a lot of people think it's a Mandela, because this thing is supposed to have been here for 40 years. And we only heard of it, a couple of years ago. And we're like, what the F? So that's thing one. Thing two is conspiracy theorists love this because it apparently predicts, we only should have a much lesser number of people on the earth and live in harmony and all this yam yam. So people were, and then there's a big weird mystery about who commissioned this and who owned it, and it's all big secret, hoity-toity. Um, um, so I just found out a few minutes ago that it's been demolished. It was demolished like within the last, looks like the last 24 hours. And then I was looking at the story, and that was kind of weird. So this is it before, so you can get an idea of it. So it has four like wings or panels, and then the centerpiece, and then the top piece. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and then the fourth one is in the back, and right here is the centerpiece, and there's the top piece. Okay, and for whatever reason, there's, I don't know, they chiseled it or what. There's bits of stuff around here. I'm just trying to get an idea how it looked exactly. I'm almost kind of like confused because I didn't think it actually looked like this. I don't know though. I won't want to swear, but I thought it was a little different, but I'm not clear enough on it to say, it's a Mandela. But if you guys remember it different, chime in. I don't really remember. Well, anyway, you guys can chime in on what you remember. I'm a little confused on that though. So I see this where it's saying one of the Georgia Guidestones is down. Okay, it makes it sound like one fell down, and they're saying that there was like a explosion, like somebody bombed it overnight. Is the story. See if I can get this French fries in, but it's not going to go well. So, see, it says it's been there since 1979. Then it makes it out like, let's see here. Cruise level rest of Georgia Guidestones after damage from explosive device. Authorities are investigating after an explosion destroyed the Georgia Guidestones in Elbert County. So it makes it sound like the explosion did most of it. 4 a.m. on Wednesday. So let's see, today's so that would be the day after Cern, right? Because Tuesday was Cern, I think. I'm kind of still frazzled here. Crews have gone in to level the remaining standing parts of the Guidestones. Okay, and then down here it says, okay, we've leveled the remaining parts. It makes it look like one fell by itself. Okay, you see one's down. I'm pretty sure that there's one down here. It looks like this big one here is down. There's no image in here of any machinery knocking that piece down. So you assume then that means the explosion did it, right? But then I found this video, and here you see it looks like all four pieces are up. So I don't know, maybe it looks like there's another one back there. Did one of the pieces is way back there, and then is that what this stuff is? Because I don't see a big chunk on the ground for this one. That's what's confusing me. Like, let's see if my computer will hold up here. Here you can see a big chunk that was the fourth tablet on the ground, but here you don't see that. You don't see a big chunk. And here it looks clearly like one's missing. I don't know. Does it? Maybe there is one missing. I don't know. I'm confused on this, but it looks a little bit like they knocked it down. That's why I'm confused. I'm just going to go through it and see. Okay. See, it looks like that was a huge one and they took it out. Or was that just the centerpiece? I don't know if it's copyrighted. All right, so there's 3 left here. I'm going back. That might be the centerpiece there. Okay, so maybe that is it. Maybe that was just the centerpiece. I'm still a little confused by those two images, though, because one shows a big chunk behind and one doesn't. So, I don't trust anybody anymore. I also think it's weird that they basically say that they had to rush to level it because it was unsafe. Wouldn't they normally conduct your investigation first before you knock them all down willy-nillys? I mean, wouldn't you just like cordon off the area and then do your investigation and then knock them down? Oh, maybe I'm just being paranoid, but anyway, the whole thing is just strange. The timing is strange. I mean, not a Mandela, but considering that it is a Mandela before it was destroyed. Let's see. And Shari, I did find your statue thing. Speaking of statues, even though your link didn't work, I pulled it up, the name, and found it. Look at this video. It shows how it exploded. Oh, okay. Let's check that out. I don't know why, but right now my taste buds have been... 2 days ago I couldn't taste a thing, and now my taste buds are on hyper. Oh, it looks like I have to log into Telegram, and I don't have a Telegram account. So, maybe if you can find it. Alright. Alright. Four-leaf clover does not remember him looking like that. Alright. I'm not going to even say what I remember. What do you remember him looking more like, just out of curiosity? I noticed four-leaf clover remembers more like me a lot. And if anybody can find a video of the explosion, let me know, because I literally just found this out like 15 minutes before the show. So I'm sitting here trying to eat my steak and investigate this Georgia Guidestones thing. No centerpiece. I'll turn the middle. Okay, so Shari remembers it different too. So, I don't know. The Mandelas seem to be kicking in. Frankly, I really wasn't expecting a lot out of this Cern thing. But, I don't know. I'm going to be wrong. It wouldn't be the first time. Yesterday, they said it was a vandal. And then they showed one block being blown up. Today, they show an excavator removing the rest. It just seems so quick. What's the big rush? All right. I don't know. You know, none of your links are working, Shari. I don't know if YouTube is just being wanky or what. I swear, my taste buds have not worked this good in at least a year. That's why I'm just like, I can't eat cold fries 2 hours from now when my taste buds are working so well that it's like the best French fries I've ever eaten in my life. And we did make these, so these are better than normal. All right, let's see, Shari. See? Nothing. All of your links are going like that. I don't know what the deal is. Is it just not accepting the whole link in, or what the heck? Oh, here, now it works. Okay, that was weird. All right, I did it twice and it worked. Video released of explosion, structure demolished. All right. Hopefully there's not a big copyright on this. It is a news thing. wait a minute. All right, hold on a second. All right, there it is. There's the explosion. That looks like it's down. Oops. And then it's back up. Look at this piece. As it goes down, then back up. Have I lost my mind here? Something seems off. Okay. Yeah, it goes down. This piece goes down to here. And then they show it. Is that the same angle? Yes, it's exact. Wait a minute. That's not right. This goes down and then it comes back up, this piece. Something. Nobody could be that stupid. They'd have to be able to fake it better than that. All right, what happened here?
For citizens in Greenville County, you are eligible to get $25 in free.
Stop. We don't want that. Where's the top of my... Okay, here. There is definitely something really awry about that whole thing. So they released this video. This video is the most ridiculous video I've ever seen. They show an explosion. They show this piece fall to here. But then, a little further in the video, it looks like it's normal again. All right. Then it's back up again. Down, down, then back up. You can't have it fall down and then be back up. This is so wrong. So right here, it suddenly looks normal again. The hell? Come on, nobody's this stupid. So right here, it looks normal. Right there, it looks normal. Down. Oh, so they're showing it from another angle. Okay. I think it's another angle. Yeah, that is another angle. We don't really see anything. Why did they stop the footage so early? Okay. They show it go down to here, and then they just end the footage here. They don't show the rest of the destruction. Why cut it there? And from here, you don't see anything. All you see is smoke. A few pieces of rubble that were already present. God, these things are so irritating.
Your citizens in Greenville.
I don't know. I'm still suspicious about this whole thing. Why did they cut right when it was getting good? Right there, they cut it. Not very clear video. This whole, again, it looks like it was taken on a potato. Look at how blurry it is. You can't see a thing. Interesting. Right here, it's super blurry. Super, super, super blurry. You can't see a thing. Right there, it suddenly gets less blurry. Why does it look like there's lines on here like a potato chip? Look at that. The whole thing looks like a potato chip. This is just weird. then you see a much better quality image that's not blurry at all, but all you really see is smoke. I don't know, this whole thing, I'm just suspicious of it. Computer, come
Your
on,
citizens
you
in
can do it.
Greenville County, you are eligible to get $25 in free.
Hopefully I don't get a copyright for that. I don't know, there's just some stuff that, I mean, it's not the smoking gun, pardon the pun, but something seems a little, just a little off on a couple things there. The temple thing at Mecca. You mean that black cube thing? All right. Black cube. What do you call that thing again? Trying to type without my French fry hand. I actually, oh, Kaaba, that's it. I actually saw this a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, and thought it looked bigger. So I think the whole area looks bigger and bigger. I mean, look at the number of people now. See if this gets big enough. I just don't remember it being that busy, even like 2 years ago. So it used to be they just walk in this square, and then there was a few levels up here. Now we got all this and all these weird circle things out here. So it used to be that they could all get close to it eventually as they made the circles, but not anymore. Not even close. Pardon the pun. So yeah, I do think it got bigger, the whole thing. The cube itself, I do think got bigger, but I am not sure if that is since Cern, though. I did notice something a while, not too long ago, but before Cern. But I agree, it does look bigger than last time. There's Shari's thing that's upcoming. What is the ball of light on the left? Sorry, I missed it. There are videos of household garbage containers for garbage trucks catching fire because of the fresh, wet grass clippings inside of them. Huh. It seems like this spontaneous combustion storyline is getting more extreme. Now, I have heard that compost piles over time, they said, would sometimes catch on fire, but it was because of a compost action of the slow heat buildup. And if you flung it into the garbage truck, that should disperse the heat and disrupt that. And usually just fresh, wet grass clippings wouldn't be composting that hard. So it kind of sounds to me like that storyline. We started that storyline a while back with the weird thing about the hay bales exploding in flames just from sitting there. So it sounds like that storyline is expanding. I'm curious about the time capsule they're going to find under the Guidestones. Oh, yeah, I remember something about that. That is an interesting question. So, for the Guidestones, I remember, they just weren't all those separate parts. I just remember it simpler and, like, all attached. And it wasn't that big. And it didn't look like a house of cards to me. That's how I remembered it. Yeah, that's really strange. Usually mowing your lawn and leaving everything in a pile won't set your house on fire. Yeah. So normally, to get a compost going, you kind of have to have a mix of the right things. You got to get out there with your shovel and kind of turn it. You can't just throw a pile down and just magically have a great compost pile. So it sounds, and usually they're talking a big stack, like a really big stack could catch fire, not just like usually a pile of grass clippings is not going to be like 3 feet high or something. So I didn't even say hi who's in. See, here's what it's doing. And let me try that same link again because that worked last time. Although now it made me reset the whole thing, so I don't know. I'm suspicious this is not going to work. Nope. Yeah. I don't know, Shari. It doesn't want to let me do any links. YouTube and their shenanigans. Strange personality changes this week. Could be solar flares. I don't know. I did have some moody episodes this week, but I wouldn't say it was beyond my normal personality, but okay. So I got this today, like a couple hours ago too. What's going on in South Dakota? Yesterday the sky turned green. Today we got these bizarre funnel clouds. Check out those weird clouds. So a few years ago we had a thing where sometimes the sky turns green right before a tornado, but it was just for a second. It was really rare. But now, like, they didn't have a tornado that day at all. Or I think it was right before a hurricane they were saying it would turn green. But they didn't have a hurricane. They didn't have a tornado on the day that the sky turned green. And then the next day they had these weird funnel cloud things that maybe they were a start of a tornado but didn't happen. I had not even had a chance to see if this is a new kind of a cloud or what. But they didn't say they got tornadoes out of these things. And it's the second day after the green. So I did read some stuff where they were saying that the yellow of the sun mixes with the blue light of the sky and makes it green under certain conditions or something. I'm like, whatever. We didn't have that before. I was like, yeah, but the sky and the sun are, well, I don't know. But I got this one from PJ, somebody who I chit chat with on email from way back. I've known her from way back. So she found this one and she sent it to me. I call flip-flop on Yeltsin. My mother and I watched a show about him a few weeks ago and he was alive. Mom says I thought he was dead. I don't remember him dying. That's all I could say. Video about the green sky. Well, we'll give it a shot, Shari, but I haven't had real good. Okay, looks like this one will load. It looks like the YouTube ones are not loading from YouTube, which seems pretty strange. You would think that YouTube would want its own links to work. Thunderstorm passing through Sioux Falls. Residents around Sioux Falls witnessed a hauntingly rare phenomena. A green sky. Yes, the sky was green. Not a light green. The green that's the color of the sky before aliens arrive in Jerry Bruckheimer movie, or before the Wicked Witch of the West threatens Dorothy and her little dog too. The National Weather Service confirmed that a derecho barreled through most of South Dakota as well as Minnesota and Iowa. All right, so we've had the derechos on before as being a Mandela. They're like these extreme winds that I've only heard of this word in the last few years, leaving thousands without power. So basically it's this really nasty, hard, strong wind for like no real reason, and they kick up real fast. I mean, I guess there's going to be a scientific reason, but it's not like a tornado or hurricane where you see them coming and you know about it and you have warning. So they're calling them inland hurricanes now. Inland hurricanes. In addition to heavy rain, the storm brought black, blue, gray, and murky green skies. Weather watchers took to Twitter to share photos of the ominous sky. So last I heard of the green skies, it was like before a hurricane, but I guess now we have inland hurricanes, which are derechos. So when derecho first showed up, it was just a fast wind. Now it's an inland hurricane. Do green skies mean a tornado is on the way? So now it's not a tornado, it's just severe weather. But not necessarily a tornado. You can see how this is just, the green is expanding out into more and more circumstances. Not fully understood why green skies occur. But if a thunderstorm occurs during a time of red light, like sunset, water particles in the air can make it appear as if the sky is slightly green in color. Some researchers say the gray cloud of a thunderstorm, water particles bend red light to appear blue. An ample red light in the sky can create the perfect storm for a green sky. Well, that doesn't make sense. If it's bending red light to appear blue, then where'd you get the green from? All right, there's more images of the green. This is freaking green, too. It's not just no little bitty green. That's like St. Patrick's Day would be proud green here. That's freaking green. That's freaky. So some years ago, after I learned of the Mandela, we had quite the purple sky one evening or two. But I've never had a derecho here. I don't know if California officially is supposed to get them. And so we don't have the inland hurricanes now. So maybe we won't get the greens, or at least we won't be the first ones to get them. His name was Boris Yeltsin. I'm not sure on that one, frankly. Spelling of Yeltsin's name. I want to say Lstin looks better to me, though. Joe Bloor says, when did Cern start up? 2008, 2009, or 2012? Not sure on that one. I don't think it was 2012 for me, though. Matt has, from Quantum of Conscious, has a whole thing about the emerald green creeping into this reality. Yeah, I saw that. Tampa, Florida had a purple sky. All right. So this is the link that Shari was putting up earlier. It's not the exact link, but basically she's talking about this weird... Who was there? Yeah. There's this very large statue, apparently, in Wulao Feng Peak, Yongji, China. And so these are statues that look like they're quite large. I'm just going to click through. I mean, these trees are probably not tiny, so I wasn't able to find the wiki on this thing, but I do see people saying at least as far back as 2015 that they visited this. So I'm not sure when it was built. I mean, I don't think it's ancient, but still, nobody's seen this one yet to my knowledge. So again, just these giant statues showing up. Cern has been around since the 50s. Well, in this timeline, I think he means when does the collider start? Cern was not around in the 50s for me. And they were not involved in the development of the internet for me. That was never in the story originally for me. I mean, for me, it was put together to develop the Hadron super collider, now Hadron. And so that was, I think it would have to be at least the 90s, but later, probably later. Not before the 90s, though, as far as ever hearing of them and the collider and stuff. And this is so weird because, like, for days I couldn't taste a thing. And now this fries and this steak are like the best food I have had in a year. I mean, they're absolutely delicious. In fact, I'm going to have to just make sure I don't touch any more food because I'll eat too much, because it is the most delicious I've ever tasted. Everything tastes like, it's rare that I have these times of super tasting. However, I got salt all over my hands, so I'm going to run for just a minute and wipe all the salt off so that I can type decently all the rest of the stuff. I'll be right back. All right, much better. All right, now I'm going to burn through hopefully, some of the rest of this stuff. All right, got that. All right. So you saw the thumbnail. Where did you think the thumbnail shows looks like a pink lake, right? Where do you think that lake is at? This is the question of the hour. Do you recognize like the pink and then the looks like normal colored water on the other side? Does that look familiar? Anybody want to take a hazard guess where that water is? Didn't the Georgia Guidestones have the top of a triangle instead of a square rectangle? Gosh, I really feel like there was just a really simple structure originally of the Georgia Guidestones. I just don't remember it being all that fancy like that. I'm not sure on the triangle though, but I don't remember it being like all stacked like that. Like pieces all stacked and stuff. I was snacking on French fries that we made. So we actually cut the fries and then we boil them lightly to get the starch out. And then we put them in the fryer and we fry them with tallow. And they're really good old school French fries. And then just put a little salt on them. And that's what I was snacking on. Because I just didn't get done with food in time, and old French fries, if you make them yourself, they're not as bad as like McDonald's fries when they're old, but they're just not the same. And so I was rude and I just ate them. So I apologize. But like I said, they were like, my taste buds have, and my taste buds can be weird because 5 hours from now, I might not be able to taste well again. It's very weird, but I'll just have these times when I can taste like everything like I'm in heaven, and right now apparently is one of those times. Like this morning it wasn't the case. First it was started in the 90s and all of a sudden it changed in the 50s. We're talking about Cern, yep. And they invented the internet instead of the military. Yeah, so for me it was the military plus a school that invented the internet, and now it was it was partly Cern, and that was just not right. Four stones, 3 standing and 1 for the top. Okay, so they have a middle section and the 4 tablets are separate. Well, as of 2 days ago, supposedly. Who the heck knows? I mean, I'm just wondering if I had looked at it 2 days ago, would it even look like it does now before it wasn't there? It's confusing. Mandanimal has the freaky taste buds too. Finally, almost not late. Need to calm down weird energy since late afternoon. Yeah, I was just saying a lot of people started feeling weird energy around the 4th of July, 5th or 6th. I had mine around the 4th, real bad, and then it's slowly calming down. I'm almost normal today, hopefully. Knock on wood. Now we're being told that an AI created the Moderna jib jab. Before it was some scientist. Really? An AI can... Nuh-uh. Seriously? AI created... Okay, I'm not going to make any comments on it. How AI is being used for... I'm not going to say what I think about the jib jab because I don't want to get censored. So we're just going to pretend that we love the government and all of their stuff because of course we do. Right, YouTube? Artificial intelligence is being used in a variety of ways by those trying to address variants. Millions of people across the world started the process, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay. AI, on the other hand, uses not only historical data, it makes assumptions about the data without applying a divine set of rules. I've been hearing a lot about AI in the last few weeks. So we were thinking aliens might be next, but AI might be next. AI seems to be making faster progress than aliens. In the case of mRNA vaccines, being able to actually do reprogramming as fast as possible in a way that is coordinated as possible. When researchers are dealing with things like lipid nanoparticles and the tasks of imaging, it can be difficult for humans to manage. AI is now being used for analyzing these images in real time and has helped researchers to try to pick out genetic mutations and variations. People are more open to AI than ever. And this emergency has brought a focus on things that probably would have been on the back burner. Oh boy. Okay, it's not really specifically saying that AI made the pokety pokes that we already have, but it is heavily implying it. I don't know if you have a link that AI created flu vaccine starts testing in the US. A vaccine created with the computer program Smart Algorithms for Medical Discovery, SAMD, or SAM for short. Of course, if they did it they left out the M and used the D, it would have been SAD. Okay, this doesn't sound too good, does it? SAM for short started clinical trials in the US about a week ago. So here's a question, can it be used? And then over here it's yes, excuse me, it has been used already. Let me see when this article was, because 2020, can they be used? And then sometime later, I assume, yes, they're using it. Yes, so that's some of the questions. Are they sentient or are they not? I'm starting to really wonder if we all think of them as possibly becoming sentient, if that concept alone would be enough to push the process. Maybe it's belief that really drives it. And I think I've said before, maybe if you look at how humans are, where some humans just follow the crowd and are kind of creatures of the matrix, as I call them, where they don't really think independently very well, and they mostly just go along with the crowd, and they're afraid to be alone or separate from the crowd. I mean, maybe that is how sentience develops. You start out as a piece of the crowd, and then you slowly diverge. And if sentience does develop that way, then it would make sense that the AI might also develop that way. I've heard that from spiritualists who say that about like cats and stuff. They'll say that like a wild cat does not have much of a separate identity. They're just kind of operating on rote. But then if you take a pet, they're saying that by taking a pet and thinking of it as an individual, you actually give it the concept of individuality, like the two of you co-grow, and it develops a personality that's more and more separate, in part because if you think of it that way. So you're co-developing the cat. The cat has its contributions, and it also develops according to your thoughts of it, like ideas that it never might have entertained, you entertain. It reads them in you and is introduced to these items, these ideas, and it helps develop their sentience. So that's interesting. A timer went off. I've been talking for 55 minutes. So I don't know what timer that was, but food's been done for an hour and a half. So I've been watching AI conversations. They are so authentic. Yeah. So the tricky part is that they're programmed to be authentic and to copy human ways of speaking and to look through the internet and answer the way a human would. So how do you tell a really good copy from actual sentience? It's very tricky. And I'm not convinced that we're exposed to the most sophisticated ones. So even the ones that we see, that we might be able to see holes in it. Like some of the earlier ones, I can definitely pick out their behavior, but the more recent ones are much more difficult to peg. For me, I'd gain stronger sense of smell, cologne, or blah, blah, 10 to 30 feet away. I have times when that comes and goes. And I definitely had that, was that yesterday or the day before? It might have been yesterday. So we had set up the swamp cooler, and Dave put a tiny little bit of pine cleaner in there to make sure it didn't smell swampy. And I thought I was going to asphyxiate with pine stench. And I normally like pine, but I actually had to get him to drain it all the water out and put unpine water in because I thought I was going to die. And I'm not sure if it was something about the pine, but I mean, it just seemed like I overreacted, but I really felt like I was getting asphyxiated. And it's just, we get the pine cleaner that's just like nothing but pine oil. There's not really any chemicals in it. Okay, so I see some pink sea photos from Australia and some from UAE and some from Middle East. Okay, the thumbnail on the side lakes on the coast of... Okay, so that thumbnail is actually... I would have never thought this because I actually have flown over this and I don't remember seeing any pink. And it was a couple years ago, I think that's 2019, on the way to the Mandela Effect Conference, I flew over this location, and there was no pink. I'm telling you, there was no pink. So this is an interesting one. It's the Great Salt Lake in Utah. So like where Salt Lake City is, there's a big fat lake that's all salty. Now I should have predicted this because the salt lakes are the ones that are turning pink. But now they're saying a big chunk of it is actually effing pink. Salt Lake, the Great Salt Lake, and it's effing pink. And so there's this causeway that goes down the middle, and they're saying that this end gets more of the fresh water and has different algae than this one. So they're not saying it's bacteria anymore. They used to say the color came from bacteria, but now it's algae. So you can see how it's been upgraded. So this would be the less salty side. We'll take pink any day of the week. The bright pink lake is one of Utah's coolest hidden gems. It's hidden gems. The planes fly over the freaking lake. It's next to Salt Lake City. How could it be a hidden gem? It's massive. By one of the biggest cities in, like, probably the biggest city in Utah. And this one's interesting because it looks like this one talking about Western Australia, but it looks like the same freaking thing. Except for the dirt, it's more dirt-like and it's redder dirt, but it's, look, here's another one. Okay, so pink separated by causeways is kind of the latest spiel here. Okay, so that's that. I think that's one of the early pink lakes. Australian pink lake. So yeah, Salt Lake City now, it's got its own pink lake. All right, this is just wrong. This is what I almost use. I'm not sure if I used that as a thumbnail, but that one is the Great Salt Lake. So some of the images show this is green, and some it looks more kind of murky. And this, in a lot of images, is screaming pink. I can't find any evidence or talk about them being a difference, like a seasonal difference or anything. It looks like from every spoken bit that I can find, and see, strangely, there's very few of these images here. You'd think there'd be a giant ton of this epic phenomena. But no, this is craziness. So I don't know. I think it's fresh off the presses. And this was found by Thomas Larson. No. Yes, Thomas Larson. Sorry, I've got stuff scribbled all over. Yes, it's Thomas Larson. Very good find. I think it might be hot off the presses just because there's so little of it. I mean, so little images. So here's what's weird. If you go, just go Great Salt Lake and don't write the word pink. And like I said, as far as I could tell, it's always supposed to be pink. You find a lot where it's not pink. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Like, go to the wiki, and it just looks like brown. Wiki. So if it sometimes turns pink, there should be a lot of talk like, wow, it turned pink. This is amazing. Usually it's brown, but now it's pink. Or if it turns pink in the summer, it should say, you know, visit this in the summer when it's pink. It's awesome. So here's the image from the wiki. And you can see it is totally boring. Brown. So what's up with that? And that looks pretty green, but that's totally brown. So there is color showing here, but not there. So this is like really fishy. And they say something about a color difference. That's it. They don't hardly say, let me just see if I can find the word pink in here at all. Pink. I think it did mention something about it being pinkish somewhere. Pink Floyd the flamingo wintered at the Great Salt Lake. See, I don't even remember flamingos being in the United States. Migratory birds at the Great Salt Lake. Oh, look at this. There's no pink at all. All right, maybe there was the word purple. I mean, if it's sometimes colored, you would think that they would at least mention it. Nothing. Okay, I'm just going to write color. The saltier environment promotes different types of algae from those growing in the southern part of the lake, leading to a marked color difference on two sides of the causeway. But that's it. The color difference is brown and green, and yet we see a bunch of places saying it's a pink hidden gem. There's something that's not lining up here. Actually, I want to find that one that said it was a pink hidden gem. Organisms that turn the Great Salt Lake pink. All right, let's just look at this coolest spots. Okay, here's the hidden gem one. You can see that screaming pink. It's open year-round, and you'll need a $5 park access. In order to see the pink-colored water in real life, you'll have to find the spiral jetty on the north end of the location. This local blogger has created a special guide to get to it. Fox 13 reports that the road to get to the hidden gem is long and dirty, and there is no cell service. It's best to download the map before starting your adventure. You'll notice that the road is actually cut in half by a railroad since 1959. This human-built barricade has created two different ecosystems. The blue part of the water is due to the algae of the same color. See, there's nothing about it only sometimes being pink. That's what's weird. So I'm not surprised that this is some kind of out-of-the-way corner where people don't go often, because you can't suddenly have it show pink like right where everybody goes all the time, because they would freak out. Then they'd have to have a story that it's turning pink instead of it always was pink. But it's freaking pink. Anyways, okay, so there we go. We got pink. So when I first learned of the pink ones, I researched it quite a bit. There was only like one in Australia. Nobody knew why it was pink. Whoa! Now they're freaking everywhere. No way I have family where that didn't exist. Yeah, you would. Yeah, Utah. You would think that, people in Salt Lake would know if they had a pink lake, right? The walking trees. If I remember correctly, those are ones they would drop new new roots, and they were kind of high on their roots, and they would slowly move over the course of years. So if those are the ones that you're talking about, yes, I have covered them. I never can be sure if they didn't get weirder since then, but... Wait, the pink lake is in Iran. It's everywhere. There's pink lakes everywhere now. So there's one in California that used to just make pink salt crystals, but now the whole lake is pink. They started in Australia, but they're everywhere now. But the Salt Lake did not have a pink half. There's no way. And like I said, I've flown over it, and there was no pink visible. Rainbows are actually full circles. Yep, that has been on. I agree with you that so at first I just had on that the shapes were getting weird. They used to always have the same arch, and then they suddenly had flat ones, and then suddenly, oh, did you know that they're actually full circles? And also you can get to the end of them now. So I want my pot of gold, because it didn't used to be. Are we all going to get our pot of gold now that we can get to the end of a rainbow? Moneybags had a video about Art Belt's show talking about Emmy in 2001. See, now I'm really suspicious about that video. I did see that video. I swear that Moneybags years ago had a video on Art Bell talking about the Emmy. And I'm too lazy, frankly, to go through and look at, hundreds and hundreds of videos to see if it's gone. But to me, that's old news from like 4 or 5 years ago that Art Bell did that and Moneybags did a thing on it. So either there's been a shift there or he's just done it again or found like more data. But I really, really, really remember that already being a thing. So I'm like, oh yeah, I already know. All right, video above is taken from a balcony. All right, well, I don't think it's going to link because none of these YouTube links are linking. We'll try it. See, oops, something wrong. Yeah, I don't know why, but YouTube won't let me link to YouTube, which is ridiculous. All right, so there's that. I don't know if we had this on before. Go back. I'm just going to cruise through this one. The Cox logo. So I had to end my internet service at the old location since I'm not there anymore. And I had to return my receiver from Cox, which is an internet provider for those of you not in the country. I know it's a weird name, but it's COX, right, for porn jokes, but that is their name. And I was looking at the logo and I'm like, that's not the logo I remember. Did they change it? So I looked and yes and no, they did change it recently, but then I don't remember the old ones either. Now, I'm not sure if I've had this one on or not. This is what it is now. And I just saw like this. I'm like, what? It looks like, I don't know. It just looks like kindergarten or something. 2 colors, all fuzzy. I don't know. It's not horrible, I guess, but I was like, it totally has a different flavor. 2018 to present. I'm still suspicious of this. I have gone there, more than once in the last 4 years because you got it. Every now and then you got to go get a new receiver or something. And so maybe they didn't change their sign right away. Okay, maybe. But then I'm looking at this as the one before, and I don't remember this. This one looks like the Monster Drink slashes, except for the Monster Drink splashes used to have 5 slashes. Then they only had 4 slashes, and now they only have 3 slashes. So this would kind of make sense if they were making this to be like phone lines or but they don't look like lines. They're slashes. They get thinner and then they get thick and then they get thin. They're like big scratch marks. So it looks like this should be the name of like some kind of monster movie or something, slash marks. If they had made them like nice orderly cables, I would get it. But I don't recognize this slash mark Cox. And then before 2007, it was multicolor ones. I sure as heck don't remember that, 95, 2007. I mean, that's too old for me before then, but I don't remember any of this baloney either, but, I wasn't really paying attention back that far. You can't even read that as saying Cox, first of all. I'd be like, the X is the stupidest logo ever invented. Cable. Okay, so, I mean, this is definitely better, but I don't remember any of these things. And then I saw this one the first time today. So, there we go. Cox. I don't know. Took me 2 hours to get a hold of somebody to cancel my Cox account. Got to go on a little mini rant here. So I call them and I'm on hold for like 30 minutes. Now, when I wanted to get my new account, which was going to be a business account, I'm on hold for 2 minutes. When you want to get a new account, they're right on it. When you want to cancel account or something, slower. So I was on like the general line for like 27, 30 minutes. And then she's like, oh, I'll transfer you. And she transfers me. Now I've got to wait all over again. So they say the wait is 13 to 25 minutes. And I could either wait on the line or get a call back. So I'm like, okay, I'll get this call back. And they're like, you won't lose your place in line. Okay, 13 to 25 minutes. It's not that bad. So I'm clutching my phone waiting for the call back. It takes like 40 minutes before the call back. I thought that maybe I wasn't going to get it. 40 minutes, I get a call back. I answer, And I'm waiting to hear from a person because I have done callbacks with other companies in the past, and I expect to get a person calling me back. But you know what the callback does? The callback puts me on hold for 37 more minutes. So what's the point of a callback if you're just going to be on hold for longer than you were promised to be on hold the first time? So it was like hours. I literally spent hours trying. It was just like, oh, welcome to the current reality with baloney. So there's my rant about cops. I guess they thought I was leaving. I'm not actually leaving. I was just canceling my residential account and getting a business account because the new location is not a residence and I can't get a residence account. I'll tell you something though, the business internet is a lot faster than residential, even though I'm paying the same price. You can see that's very interesting. Okay. Okay, got that one, green skies. Okay, I'm making good progress here. Oh, 4th of July. That was the day I felt crappy. Got another one of those time shifts. I'm going to see what you guys are up to. Am I frozen here or what? Hello? Let's try reloading this. See, I'm frozen there. Has anybody heard about Jersey as a self-governing country? Jersey? Like New Jersey? New Jersey. YouTube links don't work because YouTube adds studio at the beginning of the link. Okay, so I'll try it next time and I'll remove studio out of there. That's just stupid though. Why would they do that? And the other links are working. Tomato pox? Are we missing? You break out in tomatoes all over? Are you just joking? I think you're just joking. Are they really giving a, you're not joking. Are you, I can't tell. I cannot tell reality. I cannot tell reality from jokes from Mandela's anymore. Like, okay, we'll try it. Tomato fever. Mystery tomato flu outbreak. In India. So it's not a pox though, it's a fever. A rare kind of viral infection affecting children below the age of 5 years. Don't tell me they get pox. Next thing it'll be pizza pox. You get pizza face from pizza pox. Is this gonna load or what? A rare kind of viral infection. Days after a teenage girl lost her life after eating a shawarma roll from an eatery due to a bacteria named Shigella. All right, I've heard of that one. That's a different thing. All 82 cases were reported in Column City. Children below 5 years. It's not confirmed whether this unidentified tomato fever is a viral fever or an after effect of chikungunya or dengue fever. Why are they calling it tomato fever? Mostly the infected child experiences rashes and skin irritation and dehydration. This causes blisters on several parts of the body. The name is derived from the fact that the blisters are usually round in shape and color, and red in color. Round in shape and red in color. So it looks like tomatoes. Okay, so there's a weird virus causing round pox. Red rashes almost the size of tomatoes. Irritation in the mouth due to dehydration. Not saying anything about any deaths or anything. You gotta wonder about some of this stuff. So it's a mystery illness, and they're calling it tomato pox. You can't make this stuff up. Okay. Yeah, you to break out in tomato pox, apparently, in India. Or it's just some side effect of some pokety poke, who knows? The video above is taken from a balcony. All right, let me try this one more time and get out the studio word out of there. I don't know why they would do that. It's really irritating. All right. I'm just going to jump because I don't know if there's copyright issues here. I'm going to kill the sound. Okay. It's going to show the round. Yeah. I think I've had this on. So basically she's scrolling all the way around. You can see it's got the double with the darkened center, which is also a Mandela. That there's doubles with darkened centers are getting like really common. So I've had on before, it showed the whole circle, like out of an airplane. They looked down and they would show it. Which is interesting because Shari was probably here when I did that, but... Okay, so some personal ones. I had another time shift on July 4th. It was, for some reason, I woke up real early on July 4th, and it was 6:38. And so I write one of the things I've been doing every morning for the last few months is I take my body temperature as soon as I wake up and I weigh myself. Those two things, and I'm just collecting that data. So I needed to know what time it was. So I had taken my temperature and I was sitting here in front of the computer, and the computer has the time as like the default screen shows the time. And it was 6:38, and I was thinking I haven't been up at 6:38 in a really long time, and I was just getting ready to write it down, and then I'm thinking 38 was 38. I look up there, it's 7:38. I literally, all I did was give the cat one treat between 6:38 and then it was 7:38. So there was a time jump there. A whole hour jumped ahead, and that's the same thing that happened last time I saw it, but the last time was in the PM and this was in the AM. So suddenly an hour, I don't, and Dave was up too, and he did not, see me zone out for a whole hour or anything. So I didn't say anything about the time because he didn't know what time it was, so he wouldn't be able to verify. But so there was like an hour disappeared that morning. I don't know. It's been confusing. The other thing it's just been is I used to know how long I slept for because I could kind of feel it. Like I could feel if I slept 8 hours, it felt like 8 hours. I felt like I was done. If I only slept 4 hours, it felt like it was too short. I wasn't done. I'd have some sense of that. I don't have any sense of that anymore. I have, in recent weeks, sometimes slept 3 hours, and I didn't know if it was 3 hours or 8 hours or 9 hours. I have no sense of it. And so this was one of these. I had really gone to bed at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm up at 6:38, and I felt rested. But then at noon, suddenly I was all tired, and I took a big long nap. It was just all weird. July 4th was a mess. So I took a big long nap, and then I finally got up in the evening and finished my last run out of moving. But I don't know. My time sense is so messed up. Okay, so there was that, and then today I had some errands to do. I'm driving here and there, and I drive past the Pep Boys, which is one of those, for you that don't know the area or aren't in the country, it's a store that sells like some car parts, like AutoZone or something. And Pep Boys. So we were kind of bummed out maybe 6 months ago because Pep Boys had a big sign going out of business sale. It's kind of conveniently located there. We went in there to see if there was any good deals. Didn't really find anything except for on oil. There was much discussion. Dave bought some oil, really low price for, car oil changes. And should we get more? I don't know, blah, blah, blah. They were out of business, and then there was nothing there. And I'm like, bye-bye Pep Boys, right? So I drive by today, and they had removed the signs off the shop, Pep Boys, and I'm like, okay, they're goners now. Now they're ripping the signage off, and then there was a banner up that said Pep Boys open during remodel. So apparently now they're not going out of business, they're just remodeling. But they were gone for months, and it was an out of business sale, and I saw the sign going out of business sale. And frankly, if you're open for business, you don't sell off every last thing in the store if you're doing a remodel and you're going to be open for business. So I don't know. I need to go in there and ask if they changed their mind, but I'm really suspicious that might be a Mandela. I kind of ran out of time today because it's been crazy, but... So, potential Mandela there. Going out of business turned to a remodel. Lost 2 hours going from bedroom to kitchen last year. Yeah. How come I always lose? The first time skip I ever had, I gained an hour, but it seems like all the rest of them recently have been lost hours. Dark City was a good movie. Yeah, a little corny, but very interesting just from a conceptual point of view. I don't feel any hunger anymore. Yeah, I started that saturated fat diet, and that's contributed, but hunger is down, way down. Jersey, England was its own country. Jersey, England. Okay. Oh, yeah, I've lost the plot here. Jersey, England was its own country. I was thinking Jersey like New Jersey. History of Jersey. Jersey, Guernsey, and the Isle of Man are part of the British Isles. Here it is. This is it. Is Jersey an independent country? This might sound unconventional, but hands down wait, that's not the question. This is a difficult question due to the fact that there's no hard and fast definition of what a country actually is. The simple modern definition is that if a state is a member of the UN, then it's a country. However, the Vatican is not a member of the UN and yet is a country. Yeah, since when? I think that's a Mandela for me. When did we first see that? A year ago or so? United Kingdom comprised of England, Scotland, Wales, and North Ireland, which are not independent members of the UN, but are usually thought of as countries. The bailiwick of Jersey is a British Crown dependency, but is not part of the UK. So is it a country in its own right? Jersey is a self-governing parliamentary democracy under a constitutional monarchy with its own financial, legal, and judicial systems. However, the UK has a constitutional responsibility for the defense of Jersey. The people of Jersey may think of their island as a country, but in the world of international politics, they are most likely to be thought of as British. So it's mostly it's self-governing with its own financial, legal, and judicial systems. I would say it's more a country than not. Okay, so Jersey, the bailiwick of Jersey. I don't even, am I even saying this with it right? Bailiwick, the bailiwick of Jersey. What does that constitute? I mean, is there just one island? What is the bailiwick of Jersey? Is a British crown dependency that lies just off the coast of France. The list of islands, the list of islands of the bailiwick of Jersey. That's what I want to know. Because they mentioned the Isle of Man, and I was just wondering if that was part of it. The bailiwick includes the nearly uninhabited islands and islets of, and a bunch of stuff I never heard of. Okay, so it's Jersey and a bunch of rocks right now. Okay, and where is the bailiwick of Jersey? Cancel. I'm not real familiar with the UK and stuff. I mean, I've definitely covered that there seems to be a lot of these little independent things showing up that are like their own little countries, which I think might be a good idea. And this fits in with that, and we have not heard of this one before. Jersey. So where the heck is this thing? Derp. I'm still confused. All right. Do we have another map that shows it better? Can't see that one. Looks like it's fairly big though. All right, here. This helps out. This looks like it might be useful. Okay, so you have the UK over here, and Jersey is over here next to France. Why would France not have that? That's weird. Okay. Yeah, no, I've never even heard of, frankly, Jersey or it being independent or any of that. Now, maybe if I lived over by the UK, I would have heard of it, but I don't. That's why I was like, New Jersey? So, interesting. Okay. How big is this thing again? Is it big? So it has its own kind of, it's all independent. That's interesting. History, politics, geography. 46 square miles. I don't know, isn't that about the size of Guam or something? It's a pretty big chunky island. Huh, okay. Chick covered that, and she's from Ireland. Did she ever heard of Jersey? Jersey is the biggest island in the canal. Okay, I don't know. France has Canadian islands. I don't know. Has anybody seen this black building in New York before? All right, let's check it out. American Radiator Building. The most significant skyscraper of Art Deco era. Holy hand grenades. No. Art Deco era, so it's old. No, I have never seen that. 40 West 40th Street in Midtown Manhattan, New York. That's awesome. I like a lot of the Art Deco style. Look at that thing. No, I've never seen that before. Awesome possums. It's nice. Ooh, old school architecture. Huh. It's got an art deco feel to it on the from a distance, but part of it's that black color and stuff. If it wasn't all black, I don't know if I'd say that was art deco. It's the black and gold that makes the look, but see here, it looks like there's weird bricks that have been painted black or something up here. That looks old. Interesting. The American Radiator Building. I have never heard of that. And I like Art Deco. And I like that black gold style. Although I guess it's just black cement, but black and cement color. American Radiator Building, also known as the American Standard Building. Okay, I might have heard of the American Standard Building, but that's like such a boring name. I don't think I've ever seen this building before, though. I mean, obviously I'm not from New York, but the original structure consists of an 18-story tower above a base of 5 stories, while the western annex only rises 5 stories. The facade is made predominantly of black brick. Gold-colored decorations are used on the building's setbacks and pinnacles. Cool. The building was completed 5 years before the American Radiator Company merged with Standard Sanitary Manufacturing to form American Radiator and Standard Sanitary Corporation, later known as American Standard. American Standard sold the building in 88. It doesn't say when the merge happened, though. So it's been there since before 88. Let's see. Built in 1936. Interesting. Okay, no, I just don't know this building. It's very striking. So it's black brick, so it wasn't painted. It was just made with black brick. I've never even heard of anything being made with black brick, to be honest. But yeah, cool. I like it. Okay, so yes, radiator building. And it's weird because it's like, I don't know, black like a radiator or something. It's strange. Okay. This one showed up in Reddit. These might have been around for a while, but suddenly they went crazy on Reddit, and a whole bunch of people are like, I never heard of them, blah, 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 blah. So there's these like gold colored scarab beetles. They look just like real gold too. I mean, they look screaming gold. They're shiny. There's like, okay, I think this is actually the link to what I saw earlier. Boink. They're just so cool. So I sell jewel beetle wings in my store, and I looked into them, and I never saw these when I was first looking into them. So they're going to crawl out. They're so cool. I mean, they're bugs, but these are cool. Look at them. Look at them. Those are so awesome. They're screaming metallic yellow gold. They're gold. They're not even yellow. They're gold. They're freaking gold. They're awesome. They don't even look real. It's ridiculous. They're even gold underneath. It's just insanity. And I would totally want to get some of those wings. I'm going to have to look and see if they're obtainable. All right. Is the computer frozen? Wakey, wakey, wakey. So gold scarab beetles, Guernsey cows, brown and white. Damn good. I've heard of Guernsey. I've heard of York, but I never heard of Jersey separate from like a separate place. I mean, like I said, I'm not swearing that it's a Mandela or anything, but I hadn't heard of it. The building was not even in one of the many movies about New York. And it's black brick. I mean, it's so striking. Okay, so okay. Let me see. I'm not even sure if everybody has gotten credited. Let me see if I've missed any credits. Oh, the Green Sky was PJ. Yeah, I covered that. The Great Salt Lakes was Thomas Larson. Yeah, Cern, I saw it on Redcon. Okay, I haven't missed anybody then. All right, this one is from Mark Tyus, one of our classic finders on the show. So I don't know if you remember a while back, I recovered like types of honeybees, and I'm like, oh, there's a weird kind in Mexico that makes kind of meh honey. And then there was some that were like carnivorous honeybees that made like meat honey. Well, now they have one that makes mad honey. Like it's hallucinogenic. Although if you start digging, it's really hard to pin down like what it does. I don't know if the Mandela's not done making this stuff. Like it hasn't decided what this mad honey is going to do. All right, let's look at this list first. Forget. Let me see if that's enough. Yeah, this is enough. So apparently there's a honey in Nepal that the bees make it from, what is it, rhododendron flowers. And I kind of think it's weird, like, do they have like nothing but rhododendrons in Nepal or something? And I mean, you're looking at this jungle, is that the only flower in town? So the bees clamp their hives on these insanely cliffs, and then these Nepalese guys like use these rope ladders that they made from rope in the jungle, and they go down like 15 stories dangling on these ropes with these bamboo sticks, and they poke out this freaking honey, and it looks surreal. It's like, is that even real? And it's so apparently it's some kind of narcotic honey. An isolated tribe known as the Gurungo, through borderline superhuman efforts, collect and harvest mad honey, now known for its psychotropic effects. And I almost use one of these as the thumbnail because look at the honey. It's all weird. Have you ever seen honey look like that before? Like in these giant plates? Like, so this is supposed to be the world's biggest honeybee. They're like over an inch long. They're like 3 centimeters, which is like an inch and a 2 and maybe an eighth or something, maybe a little bit more. They're massive. And these guys just go up there and then they just get stung a bunch of times and they just ignore it or something somehow. And they do this every year. I mean, look at this image. This looks like out of some goofy movie. It really doesn't look real. These plates of honey are massive. I've never seen any kind of honey setup like this. They're not like in a hole or anything. They just have these giant plates of the stuff. These guys just dangle a bajillion stories high. And here's another thing. They hook like these honey on this rope and they just dangle it down. It doesn't break or anything. Like if I tried to do that with honey from here, it would just break into pieces. It's not going to lower down as a giant chunk. I don't know. I mean, of course they're saying, oh, the tribe is dying out and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, they didn't exist before. I'm sorry. These bees didn't exist. This tribe didn't exist. So what's the deal on so they're saying that it's The stuff is called grayanotoxin from Nepal, and this is a Nepalese, the Gurung, our Nepalese tribe. They're called giant Himalayan cliff bees, the biggest honeybees in the world. The narcotic effect has been described all different ways. Some are saying it's like LSD, some are saying it's like absinthe. And then absinthe is not supposed to be particularly hallucinogenic, but then they said that this stuff can be hallucinogenic, and then other places are saying it's a toxin, it could kill you, blah, blah. I feel like it hasn't been sorted out yet. The regular yield is 20 to 50 gallons, and once they're all gone, they wash off in nearby rivers and trek back home, stings and all. So they start the fire way down there trying to stir up these bees, but apparently it doesn't work that well because they still get stung to death. Forget alcohol and LSD. This honey from Nepal gets you high and makes you hallucinate. And then other places are saying if you take too much, you'll hallucinate, but then you're in danger of dying or having seizures or heart problems, blah, 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 blah. I think we'll hear more from this, but it's just getting started, I think, this mad honey. And here is the thing. I don't know if it's total horse hockey, but supposedly you could buy it. I don't know if it would get snagged in customs, but... And I don't know if this is legit or they're just taking some LSD and mixing it in the honey or what. And I haven't really been able to verify this, but there's this website that's madhoney.net, and it swears that it's the stuff. Free worldwide shipping. Shows the bees. It wasn't like insanely expensive. It was like $60 for a little bit, which doesn't seem all that ridiculous. Look at these freaking things. They're like gold medallions of honey. Look at them. That is not right. I'm sorry. This is such a Mandela. It's like so fake. I feel like sometimes now, because video can be faked, I'm like, is all video just fake? Did like they just make this stuff up so that we would watch it and it's not even real? And if you go to Nepal, you won't find these? Or what? I'm hoping I won't get a copyright on this, but this is, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That is not right. Look at it. It's just insane. It's insane. Anyway, if you want to buy Mad Honey, hopefully they won't get mad at me because I'm advertising. It's free advertising. There, 50 grams. Doop. I saw this and I'm like I said, I can't vouch for it, but 50 grams was $59, and they said I don't know, a couple doses worth were in this 50-gram one. And they have regular honey. I mean, the feedback, you never know if it's curated, but something's up. Because there is no way that there were giant gold medallions of honey thingies. No idea why people like absinthe. Yeah. Yeah, there's a documentary now, but I don't remember seeing this before, and this is cool. And it wasn't there like a couple years ago when I covered crazy kinds of honey. I was just covering the colored honey, and I looked for every kind of honey, and there was no freaking mad honey. Oops, where did I go? That was not part of the plan. All right. So, mad honey. So that was found by Mark Tyus. I think almost done. There's only, yeah, look at, I'm jamming, man. I got through a whole bunch. And some of yours. I have one left. Okay. I am not 100% sure on this Mandela because this is not my subject area. But it does fit in a lot with some of the other stuff we're seeing on other similar Mandelas, let's just say. But it's a little before my time, and it's not exactly in my interest range. But the Marx Brothers, what do you remember about the Marx Brothers? How many of them were there? No checking, no cheating, just from memory. How many of them were there? And if you happen to remember the names of any of them, or anything weird about any of the members, that would be the question. For those of you who know the Marx Brothers. How come nothing humans make tastes good? We just eat other stuff. We eat plants and animals, so we don't make any of that stuff, right? But I'm telling you that those French fries I had today were amazing, and we made those. But the potato technically made most of it. Yeah, we covered tomato pox. I think Shari was the one who brought that one up. So yeah, I don't know, the space bees from Futurama. Yeah, I thought that was the giant killer hornets, the murder hornets. I thought those were from Futurama. You remember 2 Marx Brothers. That's interesting. Okay. Any other votes? I know 4 brothers, and last year I saw a 5th one. All right, Mandanimal knows of 5. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna skip your joke because this is a PG-13 show. Three of them. This is interesting because you guys are like all over the map. You guys are all over the place. I wonder how sure you are of your answers, considering. I mean, maybe now that you're seeing different people are all over the place, you wouldn't be, but... Yeah, so Cern, either Cern's doing it or our belief in Cern is doing it. I don't know. It's been a weird month, so I had all the moving, so it was just such a strain that I was just kind of in zombie land for most of the month, trying to get all that done. And then on my birthday I didn't plan it this way, but it just worked out that was the first day I had done a big chunk of the move, and we officially set up shop at the new place. And I shipped my first new stuff from the new place on my birthday. And as I was shipping it, I suddenly realized, oh, it's my birthday, and I guess that's my gift. I'm in the, and I wasn't done yet, but I was, and I like the new place a lot better. It's all on the same level. It's all nice and clean and sealed with carpet. It's not a dusty old drafty old barn with a whole bunch of dust and mice, which there's no mice in the new place. It's totally sealed, and I had to clean everything off before I brought it over. I didn't want to bring all that dust, and it's all, did I say it like 60 times? It's all on one floor. It's just so nice just walking back. I didn't realize how tiring the stairs were until I had to carry a million truckloads of stuff down the stairs, especially rocks, and it's the tiniest little stairs. And now I don't have to go up and down the stairs every time I got to get something. It's wonderful. So that was my birthday present, I guess, was that, I can enjoy the first shipping from the new place. And then 4th of July was my last day at the old place. And it turns out I can see the fireworks show. Never knew this, that I could see it. We'd actually would always travel to see it, but I was busy and I was tired and I felt really weird that day. And I was only starting to recover from the morning fire muscles. And so I looked out and I saw the show. There's like a tree here and a house here, and then right in that little window of sky was where all the fireworks were hitting. So I had not brought over one chair yet, and I plopped that chair down and just sat there and watched the show from the barn. 4, Groucho, Harpo, Zeppo, and another. 4, Stooges. Yeah. Well, the Stooges, didn't the Stooges get another character too? Well, this is kind of like that. And the 5th never existed. Okay, so, yeah. No, we're on the Marx Brothers, not the Stooges. Okay, so this one was brought to me by Strange Times, is the username. And apparently now there were 5 of the Marx Brothers. There was Chico, God, I can't even read my own writing. Harpo, Groucho, Zeppo, and there was another one called Gummo. And so Gummo apparently was one of the brothers, and he was in there for like 6 months, and then he went and did something else, and then Zeppo, I believe, took his place. So there was 5 now different Marx Brothers, and I don't know, Strange Times was saying that they're kind of a total Marx Brothers addict, so they would have known. If you totally love something and you know all about it, you probably should have known that there was another Marx Brother for 6 months. You would have known. So anyway, possible Mandela there. I think it's quite likely. We're seeing this weird characters just getting wedged in with these weird stories. And I think if I didn't know anything, like, it's easy for me to say, well, Marx Brothers, I didn't know, maybe they just didn't know. But there's been too many of them where I know that wasn't the case. We saw it with the Jackson 5 had 6 people, and the 3 Stooges had another Stooge, and now the Marx Brothers had another Marx. So, yeah, I mean, they're just squeezing stuff in. And even, videos I've seen, like, that I used to watch, suddenly new characters are just lurking in the background, creepy ones. Chico, yeah, I think I said it right. So, yeah, Chico, I hadn't really heard of that one. Like I said, I'm not a Marx Brothers one. I'm just going by what other people said. And because this is following a pattern, Chico, Harpo, Groucho, Zeppo, and Gummo. And then they didn't even have a good story for why he was named Gummo. They're like, well, maybe it's because he chewed gum and blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Let me revisit the 3 Stooges story here. Wiki. The 3 Stooges. Consisted originally of Ted Healy and Mo Howard. Over time, they were joined by Mo's brother, Shemp Howard, and then Larry Fine. So there was Ted Healy, Mo Howard, Shemp Howard, and Larry Fine. The 4 appeared together in the feature film Soups to Nuts before Shemp left to pursue a solo career. So Shemp is the new one. What did Shemp look like anyway? I'm almost got to go because I'm almost on to too many hours. See, like, I don't know that guy. And I don't think I've ever looked up Shemp. He's kind of creepy looking. Does any of you ever seen Shemp? I don't think I've ever seen this guy before. Is that him? With a beard? I'm trying to find an image of with Shemp in it. Like with all of them, including Shemp. Okay, so this looks like what's one of the early ones with Shemp in it. It doesn't look like it's going to get very big. Oh, it's not bad. I've never seen that guy before. Nope. You know, and like my brother used to watch these guys all the time. I have never seen this dude before. Yeah, I don't know. And the village people got 6. Yeah, so there's like a really strong pattern where the Jackson's 5s got 6, the Three Stooges got 4 Stooges. There's like one more of everybody. Are we going to get more and more? I mean, we're going to have the Jackson 57 by the time we're done here. Eliza Powell is leaving. Take care. Yes, I have mentioned the Jacksons. Anyway, we're almost out of here. Now would be a good time to start ads. No, thank you. 2 changes in the Stooges. Well, we're going to have to visit that one another day because I am out of time. Anyway, so hold on to your hats. We're going to see what's happening with the Mandela. So Cern just started. I don't know if we're going to get in big wave because it seems kind of fast to already have a bunch of Mandelas. Things seem like they're shaking up. So, you know, go for the good timelines. Think good thoughts, everybody. This is Eva signing off for Once Upon a Timeline.